All right, we are live here. We're just about ready to cover the Smart Credit System workshop. I'm going to share my presentation here with you, and give me a couple of seconds here as I go to my fan page and actually start sharing this on my regular page. So we are live on my page here. I'm going to go ahead and share this on my regular page, and we are almost ready to go. So give me one quick second here. June Collier does the smart credit system workshop. All right, so we're posting that live on my page. We're almost ready to go. Almost ready to go. Let me pull out my phone and get that going. I don't know if I'm going to be able to see any of your comments and answer any of your questions today, but what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be going over the smart credit system. I'm going to be doing the workshop that many of you will be able to do here in the coming weeks. As far as getting a workshop going. What I wanted to do is I wanted to cover this because I covered this yesterday in the Super Saturday here in Atlanta. So we're doing some pretty amazing things here, and I wanted to make sure that everybody got an opportunity to actually see the Smart Credit System workshop. So let's see, where do I go on my phone to make sure that I can see this? And then I'm gonna be ready to go here in just a quick second. So those of you that may have questions, comments, I don't know if I'm going to be able to see those and address those because this is the first time that I've been doing it, or that I'm going to be doing it the way that I'm doing it right now. So, and this was not planned. So those of you that actually watch this, it's just going to be because you just kind of tripped across it and you saw it. This was not something that I had planned. I just wanted to go ahead and get this going and go from there. So, all right, with that being said, my name is June Collier. I am the VP of Marketing with Iconz, and I am also the creator of the Smart Credit System. What we're going to do in the next probably 40 minutes is we're going to talk about the workshop and what we teach within our Smart Credit System and what it is that you actually need to know. Now, if you are a Iconz associate, this presentation will actually be in your back office next week, probably tomorrow sometime. I also have the talking points that I just completed today. So those will be there as well. You'll be able to use this presentation to do what we call our Smart Credit System workshops. And we believe that you can drive a lot of people, get a lot of people to attending this workshop. So what you're going to do is you're going to get an opportunity to see it firsthand right here on Facebook Live. You're going to be able to see this firsthand and really get an opportunity to see exactly what it is that we cover. Let's just make sure that I am live on my page. I see some people that are hopping on. Again, I cannot see the comments, so I apologize for that. Can't see the comments. I apologize for that. But with that being said, let's go ahead and just jump into this thing. So thank you for coming and attending the workshop. I'm very excited to have the opportunity to share this information with you today. And then after you complete this workshop, you're going to have all the information that you need to make the right decision regarding your personal credit needs. So if you're watching this presentation, you're not in Iconz, you don't have access to the Smart Credit System, welcome. Welcome, because there's going to be some great valuable information that you need to know. What we've done with this credit system is we snatched the covers off of the credit repair industry. You know, for so long, the credit repair industry has been full of mystery. And that's why they've been able to charge $600, $1,000. I know people that have paid $1,000 to fix and repair their credit. After watching this presentation, you're no longer going to want to pay somebody else to fix and repair your credit. We're going to show you just how easy, simple, cost-effective it is for you to do it yourself and repair your own credit. Now, let's talk about some of the facts. You know, everybody is interested in credit because credit plays such an important role in everything that we actually do. Everybody's interested in credit. And so here's the thing that you need to know about the industry. There's over 43 million people who have bad credit. 43 million. That's a lot of people with poor credit. There's also 1 in 5 who have an error on their credit report. So 1 in 5 people actually have an error on their credit report. Last year, in 2018, just a few weeks ago, okay, a few days ago, I would say, 5 days ago, 6 days ago, in 2018, the credit repair industry made $3 billion in 2018. So it's a huge industry. A lot of people are interested in credit repair because credit it affects everything that you do. Any purchases that you make, sometimes job decisions and different things of that nature, credit affects that. Now, here's another interesting fact. 79% of people who disputed errors were successful in removing them. 79%. So when you sit back and you start asking yourself, is this thing difficult? Well, 79% of the people who started to dispute some of these errors that were on their credit report were successful in having those things removed. So credit repair is not as difficult as a lot of people want you to believe that it is. Everybody wants good credit. And that's why this industry is such a large industry, an industry that has earned over $3 billion because everybody understands the importance of having good credit. So those are just a few facts about the credit repair industry. I want to talk about scores based on age and does age have an effect on your credit score? And so there was a study that was done that showed that people who were 70 plus years old or older, they had an average credit score of 730. It also showed that people between the ages of 50 and 69 had an average score of 700. People between the ages of 35 and 49 have an average credit score of 655. And then people between the ages of 21 and 34 have a credit score of 634. And then anybody with that's less than 20 years old has an average credit score of 631. And so these numbers come from a website called Wallet Hub. So I didn't just make these up. This came from Wallet Hub. And as people get older, their credit scores typically improve, right? So let's talk about why their credit scores typically improve as they get older. They will have had more time to accumulate wealth in their lives. Their earning potential, their income earning potential grows as you get older, right? So when you're young, you don't make as much typically as you get older, your income actually increases. You're wiser and more financially responsible as you get older. And then the last point that people don't really understand is that in the credit scoring formula, 15% of your score is based on length of credit history, right? Length of credit history. And so if you're an older individual, you would have had chance to have a longer credit history than a younger person. Okay, so statistically, the older you are, the greater the chances are that your credit score is going to be higher. Now, why am I addressing these things? Because you need to know your target market. You need to know who out there is struggling with credit. You need to know and understand your target market. The next thing I want to talk about is scores based on your income, because your income often reflects what your score is going to be. And so again, Wallet Hub is the website that I got this information from. They show that the higher your income, the more stable or higher your credit score is likely to be. So people with an annual credit score of an annual income of $30,000 or less, they have an average score of 590. People with a average income of 30,000 to 50,000 have an average score of 643. And then people that make $50,000 to $75,000, they have an average score of $734. Now, let me just say this. You don't have to earn a whole lot of money to have excellent credit. However, Credit is based on your ability to pay your debts on time. I'm going to move this down here. I'm going to just move this down here to the right here. So you being able to pay your debts on time is really what your credit is based on. And so if you're in the lower income earning bracket, it may sometimes be tough for you to pay all your bills on time due to the lack of financial resources that you have. And so here's what we always say: poor credit or bad credit is often the result of a lack of income, okay? It is not the cause of a lack of income. Poor credit is the result that comes from a lack of income, not the cause. And so that's important for us to talk about. Now, let's talk about the credit score and what makes up a good score. Now, depending on what credit reporting agency that you go to, these scores are going to vary just a little bit, but this is just an average. People with a 750 or better is considered excellent. Actually, 800, between 800 and 850, that's the cream of the crop. And then, you know, from 750 to 800, that's excellent credit. Good credit is between 740 and 749. Fair credit is between 650 and 699. Poor credit is between 600 and 649. Bad credit is below 600. So let's talk about this a little bit. Individuals that have a 750 or above, that is very good credit, exceptional credit, right? And so those people are going to receive the best lending rates. I mean, the best interest rates of ever. So, you know, if you've got an 800, you're getting the best interest rates out there. When we take a look at people that have a credit score of 700 to 750, these are very solid customers for the lending industry. They're going to pay their loans. And so those borrowers typically get a fair interest rate. It is a fair interest rate across the board. So the lender's getting a good return for the risk that they're assuming with loaning out the money. And then the person with that credit, they're getting a very, very fair interest rate on their loan. And so it's a win-win situation. So where we start to see things start to change a little bit is when we get to people with fair credit, 650 to 700. They still can qualify for a lot of different things. They don't have any problems qualifying, but the rates that they pay on their loans are not as favorable. So they're starting to get those interest rates that are starting to inch up a little bit higher than normal. Then when we look at people with poor credit, that's 600 to 649. These people are actually considered subprime lenders or subprime borrowers. And so with the subprime market, they pay the highest interest rate on their borrowing. They pay the highest interest rate on their borrowing. And then when we get to the bad credit, that's below 600. Usually these people don't even qualify for the loan. They're getting turned down for the loan. And if they do get a loan, what they have to do is they got to put down a deposit. They've got to put down a large amount. Maybe they need a co-signer. All of those things are happening with individuals with bad credit, and that's below 600. So now you should know what a good score is, what a fair score is, what a bad score is. And again, you know, I think it's what I say, 43 million people have poor credit or bad credit. So anything below 600 would be considered, you know, poor credit. And so, or below 650 really is considered poor credit. So let's talk about what makes your credit score up. You see, everybody talks about how difficult or how hard credit repair is, but it really isn't, because we have the formula. FICO gave us the formula here, and there's 5 factors that address your total credit score. Let's take a look at those factors. The most important factor is the payment history. And payment history is worth 35% of your total score. So what that basically means is if you've got some late payments, if you've got some foreclosures and things of that nature, that's what falls under payment history, all right? 30% of your score is based on credit utilization. Now, here's where our smart credit system really stands out above everything else, is because most credit repair companies, if not all of them, they only address payment history. They only address trying to get the negatives off of your credit. No one can tackle credit utilization because credit utilization is something you have to do. So, you know, a lot of people say, I just want to pay somebody to fix my credit. Well, the problem is that if you pay somebody to fix your credit, they're only going to be able to fix 35% of the 100% that your credit score is made of. So you might as well get in here, learn how this thing works, and fix it yourself, because even the 35% that they work on, even that is very easy for you to do. But my Econ has a way to fix credit utilization. We'll talk about that as we go along in this presentation. Credit history is length of credit. And there's very little that you can do about that. We do have a solution or strategy for credit history. But again, this is not something that many of the credit repair companies even address with you, because that's just not something that they actually do. We'll talk about what you can do with that. Establishing new credit. Most people say, well, how do I establish new credit if I've got poor credit? We've got solutions for you on establishing new credit as well. And then finally, credit mix. You got to have a mixture of credit. You got to have some installment loans. You got to have some revolving accounts, those types of things. And so these are the 5 factors that address the whole score and not just half of the score or 35% of the score. So what you need to know is what makes the smart credit system so valuable is that we focus on all 5 factors instead of just the one. We focus on all 5 factors instead of the one. So what I'm going to do in the next couple of slides is I'm going to address each one of these factors, starting off with the payment history. And with the payment history, it's just 4 letters. That's the solution. There are 4 letters. These letters are often referred to in the credit repair industry as 609 letters. And again, they come up with this terminology to make it seem like it's, you know, a big deal or this big secret. But really all a 609 letter is basically the Fair Credit Reporting Act has a section called Section 609. And under Section 609 under the Fair Credit Reporting Act, it tells you what your rights are and what the credit reporting agencies have to do in order to have that negative item listed on your credit report. So it gives them rules and regulations on what they have to do, and it gives you your rights and what you can actually do. And so the letters are written towards the Section 609. So let's talk about the first letter, which is a debt validation letter. So basically what a debt validation letter is, it's just a letter that you send to the credit bureaus to say, hey, listen, you said that I owe this amount of money on this debt, or I was late on this debt. I need you to verify, and I need you to validate that this debt is actually mine, right? And so the first thing that you want to do is you want to have them to validate that the debt is actually yours. So that's the first letter that you send them. Now, you're not telling them that this is not your debt. You're just saying validate the debt, because the Fair Credit Reporting Act says that part of your right is that the credit reporting agencies, or the CRAs, they have to validate that this debt is actually yours. So the onus is on them. They got to validate that. So you're going to send them this letter. And then there's a certain way that you send the letter. We show you how to do all of that in the smart credit system. We show you how to send the letters, how to make sure that you're tracking everything. There is a spreadsheet that we've created so that you can list all of your debts and you can rank those debts so that you can attack the debts that are affecting your credit the most. All right. So that's the debt validation letter. Then 30 days later, if they come back and they say, well, we verified that this debt is actually yours, the Fair Credit Reporting Act says, well, now you have the right to ask them to give you the method of verification. So who did they talk to? What day did they talk to that person? What was the information that the person gave them? So they have to verify, how did they validate the debt? That's the method of verification letter. The third thing is that if they do not verify or send back the method of verification, your third letter is a letter that has a little bit stronger language that says you're violating my rights under the Fair Credit Reporting Act. If you do not provide the method of verification under the Fair Credit Reporting Act, you are supposed to remove this off of my credit report. So you're reminding them that they are now violating your rights because they have not done what they're supposed to do under the Fair Credit Reporting Act, okay? And then the final letter, which is your fourth letter, is your letter for intent to litigate. Basically, what you're now doing is you're sending a warning that, listen, you have violated my rights. I told you violated my rights. You still have not sent me the proper method of verification. If you don't do something now, I intend to litigate. I intend to sue. At this point, they have to take that off of your credit report, or you can go to the next step, which is litigate. And so really, these are the four letters that you use in the credit repair process. These are the 609 letters. Now, are there other letters? Yes, there are other letters that are out there. You've got letters like goodwill letters. You've got letters that pay for delete letters. You've got letters to remove tax liens. We've got medical letters. If you got medical bills, there's a set of letters for that. So we've got all of these other letters that you can do that's unique to your situation. But the reality is that for payment history, there's four letters that you're sending off. And this is what you're paying $600, $1,000 for these credit repair agencies to do for you. They're sending off these four letters. And the reality is that they're still making you work. They'll make you pull your credit, and then you have to send them your credit report, or have them log into whatever online credit report service that you're using so they can see the negatives. Then they're going to send off the letters in your behalf. But when they send the letters off in your behalf, the answers are going to be sent back to you. They're going to be mailed back to you. So now you got to go and send that information back to the credit repair company. And then the credit repair company will send out another set of letters. And then when those responses come back, they're going to come back to you. You got to send that to the credit repair agency. And so what's happening is you're still involved in the process. You're still working. All they're doing is really sending out these letters on your behalf. And so paying $600 to $1,000 for these four letters is really, in my opinion, ridiculous. And so we've already got that solution. We've got the letters there for you. We've got the four letters, and then we've got several other letters that are available to you based on, what your needs are. All right. So that's the payment history, which is worth 35% of your score. Let's talk about the next point, which is credit utilization. Now, credit utilization is almost worth as much as credit history. See, credit utilization is worth 30% of your score. 30% of your score. That's huge. Okay, that's a huge process for credit utilization. It's 30% of your score, while credit history or payment is 35%. So there's only a 5% difference. So here's what I've noticed. One of the things that has happened for a lot of people when they see their credit scores jump so fast with our system, the reason why it's jumping so fast is because they are applying all 5 factors at once. So not only are we showing them how to remove the negatives or get some of the negatives removed, and even if they don't get all of the negatives removed, because some cases you may not get all of the negatives removed, even if they don't get all the negatives removed, if they're using credit utilization and they're starting to lower their credit utilization, that counts worth 30% of your score as well. And so they're starting to see a crazy increase in their credit score. And the solution that we offer is the income shifting strategy. So I told you earlier that a lot of people don't make enough money. I mean, they're not making enough money. And because they're living paycheck to paycheck, when emergencies come up, somebody's not getting paid and it starts to ding their credit. And so they don't have any money. And so the credit repair companies can't fix this. But inside of our program, we have something called the income shifting strategy. And the first thing that we do is we teach people how to correct their tax withholding. You see, the IRS says that over 80% of taxpayers have their tax withholding paperwork filled out incorrectly. And the average refund is about $3,100. So that's about $255 a month that they're overpaying in taxes. What we do is we show them how to fix that tax withholding form, and then bring that extra $255 or more back into their household on a monthly basis. Now think about this. They now have an extra $255, $300, $400 that's coming back into their household. That extra money can either help them catch up on their debt, get corrected on their debt, or start super charging and paying off that debt very, very rapidly. So think about this, a person that corrects their tax withholding and gets back on average $300 to $400 in a 90-day period, that's $1,200 that comes back into their household that they can lower their credit utilization by $1,200. See, that's huge. And so once they start lowering their credit utilization, the credit score starts going through the roof, not just based on the negative items that are being removed at the same time, but now their credit utilization is going down during that same period. So we're doing both at the same time. We're attacking and getting the negatives off, but at the same time, we're starting to lower the credit utilization. And we get that extra income through correcting of tax withholding. The next thing that we do is we show people how to create some business income. So with business income, here's the thing that you got to understand. Most people are in trouble with their credit because they're not bringing in enough money to pay their bills. So what we do is we say, not only are we teaching you how to fix and repair your credit, but we are now going to give you the opportunity to become an affiliate and start earning some affiliate income. As you begin to earn that affiliate income, that creates more income coming back into your household that you can now start applying to your debt, lowering your credit utilization, becoming debt-free. You see how that works? So these are strategies that no credit repair company out there is able to actually do. So we show them how to create this business income. So imagine if with the credit repair industry, and now you're in this process, you're fixing your credit. Now you're starting to talk to family, friends, and coworkers and other people, and you bring them into the fold and teach them how they can fix their own credit. Imagine you making an extra $200, $400, $600, $1,000 a month with just this business. See, that extra $500 to $1,000 a month can really do wonders for you. Everybody can use an extra $500 to $1,000 that's coming into their household. And so we take this business income, and now your debt is really starting to fall off, because now you got an extra $500. You corrected your tax withholding. Let's just say you got $400 on that, and now you're making an extra $500 a month. That's $900 a month that's coming back that's coming into your household now that wasn't coming into your household before. So creating business income is really key with that strategy. The third thing is that now that you start a business, we can start showing you how to lower your tax liability, because now you have a business. See, there are tax systems for two types of people: people with a business and people without a business. The haves and the have-nots, right? And so when you have a business, now you're in position to write off things like car and truck expenses. You're able to write off communications like your cell phone, your internet. When you travel, you're able to start writing off your rental cars, your hotels. You're able to write off your meals. When you have children, you're able to hire your children in your business and be able to pay them a wage and be able to write off their wage. And all of that becomes tax deductible. See, you're going to drive a car anyway, but when you create a business, now those expenses for that same car that you have can now be partially tax deductible. You had a cell phone anyway, but now when you start a business, that cell phone bill can now become partially tax deductible. The cell phone equipment, the computers, the internet service that you have, all of those things are things that you're going to have anyway. But when you start the business, it lowers your tax liability. Every time you lower your tax liability, that's like putting more money back into your pocket. That money that comes back into your pockets, now you use that to apply to your debt, and it lowers your debt, your utilization again. Okay, so this is the third way with our income shifting strategy. And then finally, inside of our smart credit system, we have debt elimination software where you put all your debts in, and then you start taking this extra cash flow that you're getting from your tax withholding, from the business income, from the lowering of your taxes. You put all of that in there as your snowball money, and then it starts to show you what debts you should pay off first, what you should pay off second. And it even tells you when you're going to be debt free. So this is really, really powerful, because credit utilization makes up 30% of your credit score, 30% of your credit score. And my Econ offers the perfect opportunity to earn affiliate income for selling a very high in-demand product. You see, the smart credit system is offered through my Econ. My Econ is the personal financial success company. And so not only do we cover credit is a big thing, but we cover, taxes, we cover how to start investing and doing other things. But for this purpose today, we're just talking about the credit portion of what we actually do. You have an opportunity to participate in that $3 billion industry so that you can start fixing your credit. And better than that, you can start generating business income to take your family and your finances to another level. So credit utilization is a huge part. That's why we spent so much time on it. Let's talk about the third piece, which is your credit history, the length of credit history. Now, there's not much that anybody can do for credit history. Either you have it or you don't. But there is one solution. The solution is you can become an authorized user on somebody who does have long credit history. So here's what we always tell people. Find a relative, find a friend who has a credit card with good payment history, it's been around for a long time, have them add you as an authorized user, okay? Ask them to be added as an authorized user. Now, many people are going to be fretful of that. They don't want to, add you as a user because they think that you're going to jack up or mess up their credit. And so here's what you need to let them know. You need to let them know that they don't have to give you the credit card. You don't want to buy anything on their credit card. All you want to do is inherit their payment history, okay? And this works like gangbusters. I've got some children that are in college right now. And I learned from my first daughter when she went off to college, she graduated college. And once she got out of college, she wanted to get a car. She wanted to get an apartment. And all of those things require that you have credit. Even her getting internet service required quick credit. So as her father, I had to go and co-sign and I had to go get some things turned on for her because it wasn't that she had bad credit. She had no credit. She had zero credit. And so I didn't learn on that go around. But the two children that I have in college now, I'm already adding them as an authorized user to my credit card. And so as soon as I added them as an authorized user, their credit scores went through the roof. And so they now are 18, 19 years old in college, but they've got a credit card with 10 years of credit history, 11 years of credit history. And now they've got great credit scores. So when they get out of college, they won't have to deal with what my first daughter had to deal with when she got out of college. So this is something that you definitely want to do. When I added them, all I did is I logged into my my online service of Capital One. In this example, you see American Express, and it's as easy as they ask for the name, social security number, and date of birth. Once you do that, you hit submit. You just added them to your card. They typically will send you a card with that person's name on it. And what I did is I went to the trash can and I just cut the card up because I didn't want to give my kids the card. I just wanted to give them the payment history that I had on the card. And so credit history makes up 15% of your credit score. All right, let's talk about getting new credit. A lot of times you'll hear people say adding trade lines. And again, a lot of this terminology can be confusing, and it's confusing so that they can charge you a lot of money. But adding trade lines is just simply what that means. A trade line is just getting a credit card, getting a loan. That's a trade line. That's somebody allowing you to borrow money from them. That's what a trade line is. Now, many people complain or say, well, how do I get a new trade line if my credit is bad already? What should I do? So one of the things that you can do is maybe apply for a department store card. Depending on how bad your credit is, if you're not like just horrible, you might be able to get a department store card. Go get a Macy's card. Go get a Best Buy card. A lot of the department store cards will give you $200 to $500 on a card, and your credit doesn't have to be perfect. And that's a great way of adding some trade lines to your credit report. Another way is if you have some cash, you can go get a secured credit card. Now, what a secured credit card is basically you take an extra $500 or $1,000 and you send that money to the credit card company. And then they send you a credit card, but that credit card's limit is based on the amount of cash that you sent the credit card company. So if you send them $500, you get a credit card with a $500 limit on it, right? If you send them $1,000, you get a credit card with a $1,000 limit on it. So you're basically paying the card in advance. And if you have some cash on hand and you want to get a secure credit card in the smart credit system, we show you where you can go find a whole list of different secured credit cards. Next is you can get a cosigner, right? You can get somebody to cosign for you on a loan. Basically, what they're doing is they're guaranteeing that if you don't pay the debt, they will. Now, in this day and age, I wouldn't cosign for anybody. I think if you can get a cosigner, that's great. You know, maybe you got, you know, some parents that will cosign for you, or a brother or sister that will cosign for you. But the risk is on the person cosigning. So the person that cosigns for you, if you don't pay, they have to pay. And if you don't pay and then you don't let them know that you didn't pay, not only do you screw up your credit, you screw up their credit as well. And so many people are very weary about cosigning, and I don't blame them. I wouldn't cosign, and so cosigning is probably not the best option. The best option is going to be this thing called a credit builder loan program. Now, we've got a great company that does credit builder loans, and essentially what they are is they're a bank, and the bank will issue a CD to you in your name. Let's just say a $500 or $1,000 CD. And they will issue that CD, but they will freeze the CD. So you can't get access to the money. It's in your name, it's frozen, you can't get access to the money. And then what they do is they have you pay on that CD. So if it's $500, they may have you pay $25 a month until you pay the $500 off. Once you pay off the $500, they unfreeze the CD, and now you have a $500 CD, plus you have payment history that you've paid on that particular loan. So this is a great option, because what a credit builder loan will do is it will help you build your credit, and simultaneously is going to help you build your emergency fund. Now, here at my Econ, we talk about building an emergency fund all the time. And so in this situation, if you do a credit builder loan, what you're doing is you're building your emergency fund while at the same time you're rebuilding your credit. And we think that that's the best option for you when you're looking at getting new credit, okay? And new credit is worth 10% of your credit score. All right, let's talk about credit mixture, which is the last 10%. And with credit mixture, it means that you got to have a mixture of credit. And there's two different types of credit out there. There's revolving credit or revolving debt and installment debt. Revolving debt is like a credit card. That's where you got $1,000 on it. You go and use $100 of it, and then you go pay it off. You got $1,000 again. You go use 200. You got 800. So that's revolving debt, where, you know, the amount that you owe on that debt changes all the time, because you're either paying it down, paying it off, using it, paying it down, paying it off. That's revolving debt. Installment debt is like a car loan. It's going to be like the credit builder loan. This is where you have debt, and you can't borrow against that debt once you get the debt. So you get a car loan. Let's just say you get a $20,000 car loan, and as you're paying off the car, it's not like you can go back and get more money. You're just paying off that loan until it's paid off. So that's your installment debt. And the way that the formula works for your credit score is they want you to have a mixture of revolving debt and installment debt. Now, here's the thing. By the time you get to this section, remember there's 5 components to your credit score. By the time you get to the 5th component, which is credit mixture, you should already have credit mixture. Here's why. If you had somebody add you as an authorized user to their credit card, you got revolving debt. If you go ahead and apply for the credit builder loan that I talked about in the previous slide, you now have installment debt. So now you have a mixture of credit, right? So if you just follow the blueprint that we provide you with, by the time you get to the 5th component of your credit score, you already have credit mixture. So see, this is what makes the smart credit system so powerful, is that we attack all 5 components of your credit score, not just the first component, which is your payment history, right? We attack all 5 components of your credit score, and no one does that. And so that's why we know that we have the best system out there. So let's talk a little bit more about that. Let's talk about what we offer. we're offering a unique selling proposition with our product. The first thing is that we have 26 do-it-yourself videos. These are videos that show you everything from how to pull your credit report, how to read your credit report. We show you how to actually write your dispute letters. We show you how to send your dispute letters off with certified mail. We show you what to do when you start receiving the responses back, how to track when those responses come back. We take you through all of the process of what I just shared with you here today. So there's 26 videos in length. If you added all of the time up in those 26 videos, it's about 2 hours and 15 minutes worth of training. Now, if I did one big video that was 2 hours and 15 minutes, nobody would watch it. So what I did is I cut those videos up into 26 videos. Some of them are 3 minutes long, some of them are 5 minutes long, but they're small chunk sizes so that over a course of a couple of days, you can actually go through all of the training and be ready to fix and repair your credit. We also have 4 rounds of dispute letters. I talked about those letters early. Not only do we have the dispute letters, but we also have other letters that are included back there as well. So if you have inquiries that you want to remove off of your credit report, we have a letter to show you how to remove inquiries. We have letters for medical debt. We've got letters for if you've got tax liens. So there's other letters that are there, but we talk about the 4 rounds of dispute letters because those are that's the core foundation of fixing and repairing your credit. We also have the income shifting strategy. Ladies and gentlemen, that's such a powerful strategy because it actually shows you how you can actually lower your credit utilization, which is the second most important part of your credit score. It also shows you how you can start generating some income and actually improve your financial life. So we've got the income shifting strategy. We've got the debt elimination software. You know, if you've ever heard of Dave Ramsey is known for the Snowball Debt Elimination Program. And so what we do is we actually have software that replicates that program that allows you to snowball your debt down to nothing, right? So we've got that debt elimination software. All you have to do is put your debt in there and the software will figure out what debts you need to pay off first, when, and how it should be done. We also have the minimize expense calculator. You know, all of us have holes in our finances. And here's what I mean by holes. You know, we spend money in areas that we could actually save money in. So what this minimize expense calculator does, it has you look at where is your money going on a month-to-month basis. So maybe you're spending $100 on cable, and really, if you got rid of the cable and went to Netflix, you know, you might be able to save yourself 50, 60 bucks. So what this calculator does is it gives you some ideas of where's your money going and are there alternatives to where you could spend this money and then find some extra money. This is what Dave Ramsey sort of teaches. Find some extra money so that you can use that money as your snowball. So, you know, maybe you need to get a different phone, a different plan. Maybe you need to cancel the cable and get Netflix, whatever the case may be. But the minimize expense calculator has you start thinking about where is your money going and where can I plug up some of those holes. We also have the reestablished credit sources. So, you know, if you want secure credit cards, we show you where you can go get that. If you got great credit and you want a good credit card that charges low interest rates, you know, we show you where you can go get that. So all of those are back in the smart credit system. We've got the investment calculator. So once you start paying off your debt, you become debt free. Now what you want to do is you don't want to stop there. You now want to get into a position where your money is making money for you. And so we start talking about how to invest, you know, using the calculator and saying, all right, this money used to go towards my debt. Now I'm going to take this money and put it in my 401k, or maybe I'm going to start getting involved in the stock market. And maybe I want to see what would my money grow to at 8% in the next 10 years, right? You see, in a lot of cases, you can position yourself where once you're debt free, you never have to be in debt again. You might want to buy a car every 5 to 6 years, but this time now you're in position where instead of going and getting a loan, now you're able to pay for that car cash. So the investment calculator is there to really show you how to maximize your money and get your money to make your money. And then finally, like I said, the business opportunity. You know, this is the best opportunity. This is a huge industry $3 billion industry. All of us can participate in this because we offer the best product out there when it comes to fixing and repairing your credit. Let's talk about the solutions. What are the answers that we just talked about? You know, fixing your credit is easy. You should see right now off of this presentation that there is no mystery to fixing your credit. It is easy to fix your credit. Just follow the blueprint. We've got the blueprint. But here's the problem: maintaining good credit. You know, I talk to a lot of people that do credit repair. I've got some friends that actually do credit repair. And here's the thing that they always tell me. They said that when they help people fix their credit, within 18 months to 2 years, 24 months, they're back again because they never fixed the problem that caused bad credit. See, they fixed the result. The result was that they had a poor credit score. So they fixed the result, but they never fixed the cause. And the cause of not having good credit is you're not paying your bills on time. The reason why you're not paying your bills on time is because you don't have enough money to pay all of your bills on time. So money becomes an issue. So what we have as a solution is for you to create a new stream of income. This new stream of income comes in the form of becoming an affiliate, selling the most in-demand product, which is credit repair. And we say do-it-yourself credit repair with our smart credit system. You see, as an affiliate, you can earn an extra $100, $200, $500, $1,000 a month selling a product that just simply makes sense. You just saw the presentation. It makes sense. And not only can you start there, but now you can build a team of affiliates, and now you can actually earn overrides on the team of affiliates that are helping people all across the country. Remember, 43 million people with bad credit. They're helping those individuals regain their credit structure so that they have great credit so they can go out and do the things that they need to do. So those are our solutions here inside of the smart credit system. The market potential, you know, when we start talking about building a business like this, the question that you should be asking yourself, is this the right business? Is this the right kind of business that I should be involved in? Well, let's talk about what you should be looking at when you're looking at a business. The first thing you want to know is, does the business, or does that industry, or does that business have the best product? And we believe that we have the best product in the industry, hands down. And the reason why I believe that is, if you've been watching this presentation, you will see that we cover the whole entire score. We focus on the entire score. And I didn't hold anything back. I shared everything with you in this presentation. So we believe that we have the best product. The product just steps you through one step through the next so that you can do all of this yourself. Stop paying $600 to $1,000 every time you need your credit fix. You don't have to do that. You can spend that. You can spend a little bit of time learning how this works and fix it yourself, and then prevent yourself from ever having to fix your credit ever again. It is a $3 billion industry. So the other thing, when you're starting a business, you want to know if you got a great product. But the second thing you want to know is, do you have an audience? Is there anybody out there that's making money with this business? See, you don't have to be the first to market. In fact, it's good for us to know that in 2018, $3 billion was made in credit repair. That lets me know that, yes, I need to be in this industry, because last year they made $3 billion. And it's going to be the same in 2019, if not more. See, credit is not going away. People with bad credit is not going away. So this is an evergreen business. It is an evergreen business. The next thing that we see is that 43 million people have bad credit. That's 43 million customers. 43 million customers. So yes, this is the right type of business that you should be looking at. It solves a pain. See, if you want to get in business, you're either going to have to provide a product or service that provides pleasure or prevents pain. And let me just tell you something. If I had to choose between a business that provides pleasure or a business that prevents pain, I'm going to choose a business that prevents pain, because people are more motivated. They're more moved by pain than they are pleasure. Don't get me wrong. People love pleasure, but they're more moved. They're going to spend money based on pain. Get a toothache. Get a toothache in the middle of the night that's just killing you. You will spend whatever you need to spend to go to the dentist to get that toothache taken care of, right? But let the tooth have a little crack in it, or discoloration in it, And you might deal with that for a couple of days or a week or so before you go to the dentist. See, pleasure and pain, you want a business that solves pain, because people pay for pain and they will pay for pain immediately. And credit, having bad credit is painful. This has mass appeal. Everybody knows what good credit is all about. You don't have to explain it to them. All you have to say is, listen, I'm gonna show you how to fix and repair your credit so that you have great credit. And everybody recognizes the necessity of actually having great credit. So with that being said, this is the end of this particular presentation. The name of the system is the Smart Credit System. As you can see there, these are the modules of the Smart Credit System. I think there's about 12 different modules there, and we show you how to read your credit report, how to obtain your credit report, how to dispute items on your credit report, how to remove negative payment history, how to reduce your credit utilization, how to add credit history, how to properly apply for new credit. So we cover all of those particular areas. So the question that you have to ask yourself is, do I want to become a customer or do I want to become an affiliate? See, that's the question. Do you just want to get the service and fix your credit and be done with it? If that's the case, then become a customer. But what I would recommend is that you become an affiliate, because as an affiliate, you get the service for free. You actually get the Smart Credit System included as an affiliate. So if you're wondering, how do I get started? What should I be doing? Then what you need to do is you need to get back with the person who is sharing this video on their timeline, or get with me. My name is June Collier. Again, I'm the VP of Marketing with Iconz. You can get with me or get with the person that's actually sharing this video, because I know that this video is being shared all across the internet here. Get back with that person and say, hey, listen, I'm interested in becoming an affiliate. You see, it just makes good common sense for you to become an affiliate, because everybody that you know, 1 in 5 people have something negative on their credit report. 43 million people have poor credit, bad credit. So there's people all around you, there's customers all around you, many of your friends, many of your family members. So why not help them and help yourself at the same time by generating some extra cash? All right. So let me go ahead and stop this share here. Again, my name is June Collier, VP of Marketing here with Iconz. I want to thank you for being on this webinar this Sunday evening. I hope you got a lot of value out of it. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to see all of the comments or the questions that actually came in. I'll take a look at those once I'm done. But again, I recommend that you get back with the person who invited you or who is sharing this live on their Facebook timeline. Get back with that person and let them know that you're interested in this Smart Credit System. Let them know that you saw the presentation, that it really made a lot of sense, and that you want to go and learn the steps on how to fix your credit. Ladies and gentlemen, it's not a mystery. It is easy. It is extremely easy to fix your credit. It becomes a little bit more difficult to maintain your credit if you still have the issues that caused you to have poor credit in the first place. That's why we believe that you should become an affiliate, so that you can generate enough income so that you don't put yourself in a situation where you fix your credit and then 18 months to 24 months later, you got to fix it again because you still have not solved the problem of being able to pay all of your bills on time. With that being said, I'm gonna give you your Sunday night back. My name is June Collier, VP of Marketing with Iconz. Thank you so much for watching. God bless, take care, and good night.